Hi everybody, it's Dr. Jordan. I've been thinking about something recently. I'll start with a story. A few years back, I was teaching at a public college, and a student at the college learned that I had a PhD in philosophy, and he wanted to ask me some questions about some philosophical topic or other. I don't remember what it was. And he came by my office, and we were chatting, and it was very pleasant and interesting. And in the conversation, unsurprisingly, since we're talking about philosophy, it came up that I am a Christian, I'm a theist, a believer in God, and this young guy was kind of dumbfounded by that. And I remember him vividly saying something like, "You don't really believe in that, do you?" And then he kind of paused and he sort of like sat back in his chair and he said, "Smart people don't believe stuff like that." And while I was kind of flattered that he seemed to think I counted as a smart person, it was so interesting, and I think says something really significant about our culture, that someone would feel comfortable saying, or even feel natural saying, smart people don't believe stuff like that. And yet I think that attitude is really, really pervasive. I mean, there's just sort of this assumption, and it goes so deep. There's a great technical term out there, zeitgeist. It means the spirit of the age, right? These ideas that are so like deep in our bones, we don't even notice them, right? They're hard to articulate because they just seem so obvious. Like of course miracles don't happen. Of course the supernatural isn't really real. But if you are a Christian, then of course you believe that there is a supernatural realm. And in fact, there's awfully good reasons to believe that. There's awfully good reasons, in other words, to call into question this broader cultural zeitgeist, this idea, this attitude. Oh, well, if you're a smart person, then of course you're just going to dismiss all that. No. If you're a smart person, if you're an intelligent person, if you're someone who wants to seek after the truth, then what you ought to be doing is really wrestling with the evidence for various kinds of claims, and you ought to be identifying and calling into question your own assumptions, right? Our zeitgeist is not some magical thing delivered from on high. Our zeitgeist, our cultural attitudes, our cultural assumptions, they're the product of a particular set of historical forces and sociological factors and all that stuff. And the intelligent person, the smart person, the wise person is someone who's going to try to investigate those, try to dig into that and think through, is there a fuller, richer picture of the world that I ought to believe? Part of why we're doing all this Mary Mother the Good Shepherd Institute stuff is to try to create context for Christians of all stripes, certainly for Catholics, and really for people of no faith at all, to engage with these big kinds of ideas. So if this excites you, if this interests you, and I hope it does, please be sure to follow us on social media at MMGSICLE, or send us an email at mmgsi@dioceseofcleveland.org. Thanks a lot.